Welcome back to the Boondocks homestead, y'all. Today I am going to make my famous chocolate Boondocks cake, and it is most amazing. And I thought I did a video on this already, but I haven't. So I looked back in all of them and I didn't see it anywheres. Now today I'm not going to drag out my mixer, and I'll tell you why. I've been keeping my stuff in the pantry and off my counter because I hate my counter all cluttered up over here. Over there at the other kitchen, everything's right there for me, you know, and I have a lot of room. But over here, I don't have a lot of room. So I didn't want to drag that mixer back in here. So we're just going to whisk this cake, and it's going to be just fine. But if you want to use a stand-up mixer or hand mixer, I got a hand mixer too, but we're going to whisk it because I think it's not going to hurt anything. You know what they do before electricity, right? So I've got another cake going. I'll tell you, we have two grandkids that have the same birthday. Timothy is our oldest grandson, which is getting ready to get married. And then we have our youngest granddaughter, and she turned 16 today. So I always make them a cake on their birthday. I haven't always done that. I just started kind of doing that. We don't really celebrate any of that, but it is a celebration, you know. God's let you live that long to be here, but we don't like do parties and stuff like that. But anyway, I do make him a cake. And I probably will until, you know, I go home to be with the Lord, if I'm able. So today I'm gonna make her the chocolate cake, and I've got his pineapple upside down cake. But what I was gonna tell you was, you know, I fell the other day, and yesterday I felt pretty good. I went to the dentist, and with Tim, me and Tim both went to the dentist, and I was getting around pretty good. And I woke up this morning, I don't know if it's the way I slept or what, but I am hurting again. So if you see me all humped over, and I'm trying not to because I know that's bad for you too, but when you're hurt like that, but it hurts. So I'm not going to complain no more now. I'm just going to tell you I wanted to justify kind of the way I'm not getting around too fast. We'll just put it that way, okay? So I'm going to get you down here where you can see everything. I'm going to put my recipe on the bottom of this video, and y'all got to try this. Okay, so I'm going to start out with 3 eggs, and I wanted them to be room temperature. I've been putting my eggs in the refrigerator, you know, cleaning them because they've been really dirty. So we can't just deal with all that. So I've been cleaning them off and putting them in the fridge. But anyways, 3 eggs, no matter, you know, it don't matter if they're room temperature or not, but sometimes I think it helps. With that being said, now I have got my sourdough, my discard. I don't know why they call it discard, y'all. It's just sourdough that's not been fed. I'm not discarding it. I'm just going to use it up. It needs to be fed. I got a whole bowl of it. And it's cold. It came out of the refrigerator. So I've got a cup of this, right? A lower cup. I won't use all that. I only need a cup of this. So this is for sourdough. You could adjust the flour and the water, okay? For this and be a 1-to-1 ratio. So just half cup flour and half cup of water, okay? And just use that instead of using the sourdough. You wouldn't have sourdough, but I'm using sourdough because that is part of my recipe for my famous Boondocks chocolate cake, okay? So we got 3 eggs. I'm just gonna whisk them up a little bit, okay? Then I'm gonna put in my sourdough. Now, I'm not going to use it all because I didn't know I had as much as I did. I'm going to leave a little bit of that in there because I didn't. I thought I just had a cup. It's more like a cup and a fourth. So I'm just going to mix this in here with my eggs. And if you don't have it, just mix you up. Listen, just mix you up a cup of flour and a half a cup of flour and a half a cup of water. I think that'll make that. And if that makes a half a cup, I'm not good on this really on substituting for sourdough, but you need 1 cup of flour and water, okay? So you won't mess it up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But I'm just putting my sourdough in there mixed with my eggs. And I'm going to put my 1 cup of oil, that nasty old oil that it's not real great for you, but I'm going to put a cup of that in there. I shouldn't have said that. I mean, I use vegetable oil for a lot of stuff. Still, you know, I know it's not good for you. It isn't. But, you know, we still use them some. I should experiment and try to use some lard and see what that does. I might have to do that. I hope you guys can hear me. I charged up my mics and then I left my little thing over at the kitchen, and I'm like, I'm not going back over there to get it. I'm just going to make this video. I'm not doing it. I hope you can hear me. I'll turn it up on when I edit it, I'll turn it up. And I edit it, you guys, because I may sneeze or I may talk about, you know, something that's taking up time, because I know you all have your precious time. I know time is precious. And so I try to get to the point and get, you know, and if I get off on a rant about something else, and it's like, I'll take that out because I'm like, they don't want to hear that. You know, they don't want to hear all that. So I'll take it out. So when I edit, that's, you know, that's what I'm doing when I'm editing it. I'm trying to make it, condense it and make it shorter so you all will stay with it and watch it and, you know, just get the point. You just need the point. You don't need all my riffraff. You know what I mean? Sometimes I give it to you anyway. You know I do, but you don't need it. Okay, so we got that all smooth looking. Look at that. And let's see. I got my oil, got my sugar, got my eggs, got my discard. I did not get my sugar. 1.5 cup of sugar. I didn't even get my sugar out, y'all. Hold on a minute. I don't know if I have a cup and a half in here. Yeah, I think I do have a cup and a half in here. We're gonna try it. Well, here's a third. So 3 of these make a whole. There's 1, 2, 3.5. So that's 1.5. Be a little over a third. You know, this is the stuff I do to keep from dirtying up more dishes. I just do it. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to because I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. Let me go ahead and get a 1/2 cup. I'm gonna have to pour it in here. I don't want to get that big old thing of sugar, tub of sugar down that I got. Okay, that'll do. And that used all that. Then we're gonna mix the sugar in. Okay. All right, now it needs a teaspoon of vanilla. We're not gonna stress over that either. Pour a little in there. And a cup of flour. Now we're gonna put our dry ingredients. Now hold on, I gotta check this. I just heard the timer on my cake, so let me check it real quick. Okay, so we're doing our dry ingredients. We're gonna do a cup of flour. Okay. And what we got next? Cup of flour, 1.5 teaspoon baking soda. You guys, I got it in the bowl already. Okay, so my salt, I got a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1.5 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay. I need to get that clump out of there. A big clump. If you got big clumps in your baking soda or baking powder, whatever you're using, always smash those up. Okay, we're gonna put that on there. And then I'm gonna use a 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, okay? And put that in there. That's it. That is it for your cake. What do you think about that? And then you're just gonna whisk it up. Okay, I was gonna try to get you up here on top and see, but I forget. This is the tripod that it won't let me do that. So much for that. So you get the gist of it. I'm gonna whisk this up in here real good. You don't wanna over mix it, okay? But you wanna make sure everything's incorporated in there. you know, you don't want to, oh, it smells so good. The sweet and the sour, it just goes. And then the chocolate on top of it, I can't see you now. The sweet, the sour, and the chocolate all together, most amazing. Most amazing, okay? I'm just gonna tell you. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. Like I said, you don't want to over mix it. You just want to make sure it's all incorporated in there. See that? Okay, let me get a spatula. I'm going to spray a bundt pan. I do it in a bundt pan. You all can do it in whatever pan you want. I just use a bundt pan because I think it's pretty. Then you just spray your pan, and then you're gonna pour it in your pan. Pour the cake mix in there. Now, I'm gonna put this in 350-degree oven. Oh, it feels good to bend over like this. 350-degree oven, I'm gonna put this in for 45 to 60 minutes. You'll just keep checking it with your toothpick, or I use one of these. I don't know why I'm dealing with sinus stuff today too. But you know what? God's good. He's still on the throne. And I'm so thankful for everything. So I try not to, you know, it's just the human in us that it's just like we just want to complain sometimes. I try not to. Anyway, I use these little shish kebab skewers things to check my cakes. That's what I use. All right, I'm going to put it in the oven, 350, 45 to 60 minutes. Now I'll bring you back. Don't go nowhere. All right, you guys, change of plans. Electric went out again, and I don't have no power. So I think that cake will be done any minute in there. That's not going to be no problem. I took the other cake out of the oven, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator until we get power. So I guess I need to get off here and call the electric company. They've been so good, and they get us on as fast as they can, but you know, we live out in the boondocks. So, you know, it's to be expected, I reckon, when you live out in the county like that, for your power to go off periodically. But we've just had a time with it this year. We're just out all the time. It seems like this is our 4th or 5th time being out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff situated. I may have to go start the generator, but I can't put the oven on the generator, and we don't have it where we can hook it up to our house. So I'm just going to, I'll need it for heat and stuff because I think it's still just 31. No, it might have hit 40 degrees today, y'all. But I still got some other stuff to do. I got to do some more tax. I've been doing my taxes and doing different things. So I'm going to go do that and call the electric company, and I'll be back. All right, they got our electricity back on. They're getting quicker. It only took 30 minutes this time, bless their heart. They have just been working their tail off in our area, and I just feel so much compassion for them. So I just feel bad for them. I feel bad for them because they've had to go, you know, work through the worst of conditions to keep our electric going through these storms. We had ice storm, then we had a snowstorm. Hence that's why I'm all messed up, because I fell on the ice after the snow come down. I wasn't even thinking there was ice underneath that snow, y'all. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get this done. I've got the cake. I went ahead and put it in there. It's going. It's got about 19 minutes to go. And we're gonna make up this icing for it. So I just do a chocolate icing. I've got 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of butter, or a 1/4 cup, however you want to do it. And 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I put a little extra in there because I like the chocolate. I just like chocolate. And a 1/2 pound of powdered sugar. So I put 8 ounces of that in there. And a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're just going to kind of give it a little vanilla, a little shake. And some milk. I think it's 2 tablespoons of milk, 3 tablespoons of milk. But I just pour a little in a cup and I just keep it by me because I don't know. You know, I'm probably going to have to get my mixer out for this. All right, now I mixed it up a little. I like it a little bit thinner. I don't like it real thick because when I pull that out of there, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to drizzle it, kind of drizzle it on there as much as I can. So, I don't spread it on there is what I'm trying to say. I might have to go a little bit thinner. I just think it looks prettier when it's drizzled on there on a bundt cake. So we'll set this to the side. I might put a little more chocolate in there. That don't look very dark, does it? Let's put some more in. You don't have to do this, but the cake is going to be so dark that if I had darker chocolate, it'd probably work out better. But I'm just using this cocoa baking powder. That's all I had, so that's what I'm using. Okay, I think that's just perfect. It's darker, it's gonna be drizzly. I'm gonna be able to drizzle it a little bit. You know what I might do? Have you guys ever did this? Let me show you this real quick. This is just a quick little hack that I taught myself, actually. And, well, I thought I had a smaller bag. We'll just use one of these. You guys know what I'm getting ready to do? Back in the day, before I had all this fancy stuff, which I don't get too fancy on cakes because I'm just not a cake maker. I mean, I enjoy it. I do it for birthdays and stuff. And for Tim if he wants one, or I do. But, which we're trying to stay away from right now. But I've got all this stuff, you know, to get fancy, to play around with. And I do every once in a while. It usually doesn't work out for me. Because like I said, I'm more pies and breads and stuff like that. But I do fool around with these cakes and I like to do it. I'm just not great at it. So what I do is, actually, hold on. Anyways, I get me a cup and I usually don't have a bag this big. I usually use a quart bag. This is a gallon. And of course I probably could have used the whole gallon of all this. And then I'll put it in this, I'll pour it in here, in this bag. You know, I have the bags for this over at the shed, over at the kitchen. I'm not running over there to get it. I wouldn't even have to have it, but I think it would probably go on better. Then I just squeeze that to the end. This is not a very good bag to do this. Then I'll just perforate that right there, put a little hole in it, and then I can, you know, I can manage how much I'm putting on there and how thick and everything. You know, it works. You know, I teach you guys, use what you got. And, you know, I've never really had a whole lot in my lifetime, so I just had to make do. You know, you just have to make do with what you got. So, that's just something I have used and taught myself to use a long time ago. So I'm gonna put this to the side. We'll just set it here. And when that cake comes out and when it cools, I will bring it back. Look at this. Now I didn't have no maraschino cherries to put in the little pineapples. You know, I'll usually go all out and do that, but I'm sure my grandson is going to understand that Nana did not feel like going to the store just to get cherries. I mean, if it would have been life or death, I would have did it, but I just don't feel like doing it. And it's not going to change the taste of it. He's going to love it. I know he will. He's going to come by and get it. And then we got to figure out how, probably have Tim take Carly's, or his dad or her dad or mom will have to come get hers. Because I'm not going nowhere. And I just cringe every time I have to go out there on the ice because you know, it's melty and then it freezes over overnight. And then it's melted again because the sun's out. Then it freezes up overnight. And so I got all this going on out there and I had to go break the animal's ice this morning. So I had my stick in this hand and I was like, I don't know. Anyways, I survived it. I made it. And here I am making cakes now. Anyways, I'm going to get off here and wait till this gets done. I'm going to let it cool off before I bring it back. Then we're going to ice it. Now, I'm not going to be able to cut into it like I normally do, y'all. I can't do it because it's not my cake. It's her cake. So I'm not going to cut into it. But I'm going to tell you, this is the moistest cake you will ever eat. Ever. I'm sure of it. It is so moist and it's so good. It's so good. You have to try it if you've got sourdough. And if you don't, like I said, if you don't have sourdough, then maybe if you know someone that has some, tell them you want to borrow about a cup of it and just borrow some sourdough from somebody. Or go to my sourdough video and watch it and start you a sourdough, and it'll just take you a couple of weeks and you'll have your own and you can use your own sourdough, okay? So I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Blowout in the middle, but it's okay. It still turned out good and it's going to eat the same. So I will let this cool off by the other one. What had happened was, I guess I didn't spray my pan good enough. I usually give it a good spraying, and when I dumped it over, some of it stuck on the sides a little bit. I just patched it up in the middle. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So anyways, she'll love it. They like chocolate, and I'll probably save, I don't know how much I got of this. Nah, I don't really have enough to save for nothing, but there you go. There you have it. It's an easy, quick cake. It's a pretty cake. It's melting because I didn't let it do, but it'll be okay. I'll put it in the refrigerator for a minute. It's not too bad now for being all gimped up like I am right now. I made 2 cakes and I'm fixing Tim something. And I think we're just going to have hamburgers for dinner. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you'll try this cake. This cake is the best. The best. I just wish it would have all come out and worked a little better. But it's okay. You know, you have those moments where that happens. Our electric, did I tell you that already? Yeah, because we made the icing. Electric come back on about 30 minutes after it went out. So I was happy for that because, and that could have had something to do with it. You know, I don't know. But neither here nor there. I'm going to go ahead and get my kitchen cleaned up, y'all. And I think I'm going to take a rest before everybody gets here. And Lord willing, I will catch you all on the next video. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll talk to you later.